Guess what just came?
I don't know. What?
The next piece of our home gym, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Right? Got it? It looks super well packaged. I mean, everything's in pretty tip-top shape here. So let's get the packaging all pulled off and let's see if we can get it assembled. Okay guys, we got it all unboxed. We're gonna show you all the pieces that came with the Joroto rower. This is the Joroto MR60 rower. So we've got all the pieces laid out here and we're about to assemble this sucker. We're gonna time it to see how long it takes us. Let's get this thing put together and let's start rowing. Sometimes that's faster.
Pretty good.
Good for you?
Yeah. Good.
I hold the foot strap out of the way. Here, let's show you the knob here. One interesting thing here is I lift this up. Here you go. It wants to go back to the hardest setting. The hardest setting, even if you're on a Concept 2 rower, typically you stay between 6 and 10. 1 is definitely a real easy, you pull and it really just kind of lets the wheel glide. So you're really not pulling as much resistance. Because this is a magnetic and a fan rower, that magnetic resistance, I can really feel it a lot when I'm down on 10. I did end up switching these foot pedals. So I actually have the right on the left and the left on the right because I like to have more room to pull my straps. When I wanted to undo the strap and I had to like push it up to the outside, I would have to push and it would go here. So I like it better with them swapped. So that's kind of your feeling right there. Now sometimes I'll have a phone or a tablet up here. My phone does sit here nicely and I can watch a movie. Because of the way that this is configured, it doesn't really hold it in place if I want to go to like a landscape mode. But I'll say that it sits in there nicely. Before we start our first workout, we're gonna give this a couple pulls and kind of see what the feeling is like compared to maybe a Concept 2 rower or anything like that. So I can give you guys my first impressions on what the pull feels like, what the resistance feels like, the screen display. I'm gonna give you some of those basics right up front. Okay, here we go, ready? I'll say it's not quite as smooth as a Concept 2 rower. There's, I don't want to say clicking, but there's definitely, I can feel the pulleys kind of blump, 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 like in this regular cadence as it retracts, as it rewinds, and when I pull it out. And because it's like nylon webbing and not chain, it almost feels like there's a little stretch in it maybe, but it's not bad. Now remember, I'm about half the price of a Concept 2 rower. So there's gonna be certain concessions that we're gonna make. That was resistance at about a 6. We'll go 10. We'll see what the difference is. Woo. That is way harder. Okay, that's interesting. So you can see my strokes and you can see my distance and my time. There's no way I've rode 586 meters in a minute 36. There'll be a lot of workouts that we can get that'll actually say, okay, row 12 or row 20 calories and go do something else. Row 500 meters and then go do something else. So those are really good metrics to have. I don't believe that's a very accurate number, because usually it takes me about 2 minutes to go that distance. It might have been that it was just a little too easy. So I'm gonna be interested if I bump that up to 10, what that comes out to be. So let's do that. I'll put you at this angle and see if you can really critique my rowing technique. I know there's gonna be some CrossFitters out there that are gonna tell me I got a ways to go. All right, here we go, 0-0. All right, well, that's interesting. 1 minute and 8 seconds. It took me to go 500 meters. That is not right. So there you can see 506 meters in 1 minute and 8 seconds. It's off. Definitely at least double. 36 strokes seems about right. I usually am pulling about 32 to 36 strokes per minute. So I'll say compared to a Concept 2 rower, the feeling's just different, right? It's not bad. It has a nice smooth feel. I really got my heart rate up quickly. In fact, my heart rate's come down already. I'm back to 110 beats per minute. So Peloton is about to release their brand new rower, and they're gonna start having Peloton rowing classes. We assume that most of those, or at least some of those classes, will be available on the Peloton app. And since I'm a Peloton user, I really don't feel like spending $2,000 on a rower. So this is definitely a much cheaper option. Be that as it may, I don't know how much I'll actually use the app. There are so many good rowing HIIT style workouts that you can just get for free on the internet. Pick and choose 5 maybe of your favorites. With my little home gym, I don't have a whole lot of options. I don't have a ton of equipment. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of body weight HIIT exercises. One of my favorite body weight HIIT exercises that I'm going to give a shot today. So it's a 500 meter row, 50 air squats, 400 meter row, 40 sit-ups, 300 meter row, 30 push-ups, 200 meter row, 20 walking lunges, 100 meter row, 10 burpees. Now, obviously, because I don't know that this is totally calibrated on meters, I'll definitely probably bump that up by double, which throws me off because it's supposed to be 5 and 5, 4 and 4, 3 and 3, 2 and 2. But I want to just give you guys an idea like what a HIIT workout might look like, especially when I'm off and on the machine quickly, trying to keep my heart rate up, trying to go from exercise to exercise. I do love that I can get my feet in and out of the straps. It's way easier than maybe like clipped in on a bike, right? I do love this is a full body exercise. I can get that heart rate up quickly. I can jump off. I can do my body weight exercises out here with air squats, push-ups, sit-ups, walking lunges. I got plenty of room in my basement to do a lot of those things. So that's the workout for today. So let's give it a shot. There is nothing quite like a rower to get your heart rate up in a hurry. Probably the rower and the assault bike. Just brutal. But that's the real benefit of having a rower in the house is, what if I only have 20 minutes? What if I need to get my heart rate up? I need to get my blood pumping. I need to get a sweat on in a hurry because I only have 20 or 30 minutes for a workout. I can't get a full body workout in and get my heart rate up as fast as I can with a rower. I mean, it usually only takes me a minute or two before I'm like, oh yeah, there's my heart. I am sucking wind very quickly. When I compare this to a Concept 2, I'll say it's not a Concept 2 rower. I can't even quite put my finger on what's so different. Another thing that I didn't know that I would feel this way about, but the Concept 2 rower, when I bring it back here, the Concept 2 will automatically go back to the start. And this one wants to, it's just like there's not quite enough incline. Can you hear kind of how it clicks? I really wish it was just a touch smoother, I guess, as far as the seat and the rollers go. As far as the pull, how the pull feels, I actually really liked the pull on the rower. It feels pretty nice, pretty smooth. Not quite as sturdy of a pull as the chain on like a Concept 2 rower, but not bad either. Okay, I've been using this rower for a few days and I want to give you my hot takes. I want to compare it to the Concept 2 rower, but it's not a fair comparison as this is less than half the cost of a Concept 2 and significantly less than the $3,000 Peloton Row. So those are kind of the standards that I'm measuring against, but I've got to give everything a slightly higher grade because when you come in at a fraction of the price, it can be worth it. Shipping, I give this an A. It arrived in 3 or 4 days. I give the packaging an A. It was packaged really well, styrofoam tape, box wasn't crunched. Really, really liked how much care was taken to ship it professionally and make it arrive safely. I give this an A as far as being sturdy. This whole machine feels sturdy in my hands. The handle is sturdy. The pedals are all metal. The nylon straps are really good nylon, sturdy. The buckles are also really stout. I love how sturdy this machine feels. When it comes to how smooth this machine is, I'm gonna give this a B+. It's whenever I pull and I move the rollers and the pulleys that are in all the mechanisms, it's not as butter smooth as I'd like to see it be. I give the computer on this device a B-. It's totally accurate when it comes to the time and the calories and the strokes. But the distance measurement is way off. It's almost twice as much as it should be on most of the rowing exercises that I've done so far. It needs to be a brighter screen, it needs to be usable. That being said, I think they've worked around it somewhat nicely with the mobile app. When you connect the mobile app, everything is displayed in the mobile app and it shuts off this screen. So you get the full screen of your iPad or whatever tablet you're using. And that's actually a pretty good experience. Now let's talk value. Value is hard for me to measure here. The Concept 2 rower sells for anywhere between $1,200 to $1,500 and the Peloton Row is all the way up around $3,000. So when this device retails for about $550, I'm a fraction of the cost. And I really am quite impressed that I can get this kind of a rower for that price. It increases exponentially the amounts of exercises I can do in my home gym. I can really do HIIT full body workouts in a short amount of time with a rower. I really appreciate that addition to my home gym. I give the storage, the stowability of this device an A. To be able to fold it in half, get it out of the way, move it around, it really moves around quickly. When you don't have a lot of room, being able to fold a device in half and take up half the amount of space when it's not in use is super helpful. Let me talk support from Joroto. They're pretty dang good and responsive when it comes to support. If you've got a problem with your device, I've actually been on the phone with them multiple times because I couldn't figure out the screen in the mobile app, and they were sending me videos, they were responding to me every few hours. I gotta say, those guys at Joroto care about the company and about the name that they have and the support they give to their customers. So I give them an A+ on that one. I really think this is a valuable device. I think the price point is pretty good. There are some deals out there to be had that are better than this one. My wife just the other day sent me a picture from Costco, the ProForm rower with the full screen and a 1-year membership to iFit was $500. Now you're not gonna see that deal everywhere, but at $500, the iFit membership alone is worth probably $300 to $400. So that was a really great deal. If you see those deals, that would probably trump this one. But for the most part, I think this is a pretty good deal, especially when you compare it to a Concept 2 or a Peloton. Well guys, those are my hot takes on this device. I think it's a pretty great rower for what it is. It's a nice addition to my home gym. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps out the channel. We'll see you guys in the next video.